This is camping at its best. It's the only way we'll do it. There's our view out of our campsite. Not too shabby. And that's
Our
the
view in the cabin. Shabby.
Yeah, and the shabby part is inside. They have 2 bunks on the one side, a little bookshelf, and then a mattress, double mattress on the other side, and we just put our sleeping bag on it. Rugs on the floor for the maximum comfort, and it's all covered up by this completely unattractive but functional canvas roof. And the work area is kind of a fence. You can see where the cars are beyond that. 2 kitchen tables. They've stacked up with electricity outlets right there. And we bring our own little table. The center table here where Don's sitting at is provided by the campsite. And then that's our bear box. Actually, it tends to be more of a squirrel box because we put all our food in there so the squirrels can't get at it. But that's our private little area. Okay, and now for the wider view, you can see how our camp works. And then over on the other side, it's the same setup, and that's where Will Bennett is. And then we've got all these cabins this year down here. Around this group are all people we know. We're going to have our major cocktail party right in the center here. But this is camping, Yosemite, Curry style. Bathrooms are across the parking lot. Kinda nice. Kinda nice. Okay, this is just another view from our campsite. Pretty spectacular. It's a gorgeous place. Okay, celebrating Don's birthday at Yosemite in a rainstorm.
Happy birthday from Scott.
Oh, a lot of cards.
Yeah. Happy birthday from both of us. The one who stopped for the card, bought the card, signed it, mailed it, and the other one. It's the Cal Poly sweatshirt.
All right.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
The bookstores.
Okay, that's the little spot I'm about to park myself on while I wait for Bill and Frank Koch and Michael to float on down the river, which they're doing in a raft right now, but this is kind of the scenario around here. The view from the beach at Yosemite. Nice quiet Saturday afternoon in the park. Everyone else is off hiking and biking and being active. I'm going to sit in this gorgeous spot and just enjoy the area. More later. Okay, we think that's them. We know that's them. Frank and Michael and Bill.
Just in time.
Making their way
Yeah.
down the river.
When we came by here last time when we rented those rafts,
Not sure they're going to be able to make it in. They got to work this time.
boy, fire the navigator.
Way to go, Bill!
Fire the navigator. It's deeper in here.
Is it deeper in there?
Yeah, yeah, it gets.
I can't get him to get out of the boat.
Take your shoes off, Michael, and get out.
Smile, Michael. You're on candid camera.
Do something for America's Funniest Home Video, will ya? I want to make $10,000.
Oh, yes. I'll get the dirt out of it.
You want one of those shoes? You probably have to let's put some wood
No.
first.
And we're recording.
We are recording. Here's recording the approach from way out, huh?
Yeah.
Casey, roll it up. Let's walk down here a little way. Right where we stop. Roll it up.
Very good. All right. Get the Doughty Adventurers on film. The historic moment. It's obvious that that boat is under absolute control.
Right.
We're going to land on a sand spit. A tui. Oh, they're rolling on by.
They seem to have their circling paddling okay. Now if they could coordinate it to go in a straight line.
Is this rub-a-dub-dub or what? Huh? It's definitely rub-a-dub-dub, folks. Oh, nicely done, nicely done.
Hey!
That's thoroughly professional, thoroughly.
All 3 A's.
Sure you don't want to go?
Positive,
Great time, great time.
positive.
My job was to sit here and look good.
Did that well.
This is the way to come in, yeah.
That's not going to have to get...
Okay, now that's the last of the rafting. Unbelievably, Don decided to do something at Yosemite this year. That's him in the middle, Will in the hat, and they got Michael working. I guess that was a good reason to have Michael along.
The monkey fist!
Heave two, heave two.
I got this new skipper. And he was so gun shy coming from the shore. He was so goddamn far away from the pier they couldn't hit him with bunker guns. He goes, first flat. He goes, both of them. What's going on there?
And they're going away!
They were going as far as they could. And our former skipper, you know, he'd come by about 5 feet away. Let me go to let
Finally made it to shore.
You bottomed out. Terra firma.
Good job, guys. Okay, cocktail party in the rain.
Yes. Have a seat. Yeah, this is my house.
You got enough light?
Oh, I think I've got enough light, sure. With that, especially with that, it's probably too much with that Coleman lantern sitting there.
Girls, help yourself.
What'd you do the rest of the afternoon? Sleep? No? Little potatoes and cheese?
This is stuff for sandwiches and cheese? Okay, who do we have new this year? Hooray! 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 Him, fuck
Smile, Don.
Hello, hello.
A little wet.
Is that a wet?
A little wet.
I'll tell you, Daddy,
Are those names?
if she ever quit cooking, well, dump her.
Identifiers?
Get together and
Can't we all get along? I like people of color. Can't we all get along? There's a lot of small here.
see, yeah, this is what he said. So we decided to raid you guys as Operation Yosemite Storm, and we'd like to show you what our dear leader looked like when he was young in his prime. Just a moment.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Gay caballero.
That really is
Oh, that's great.
beautiful picture.
Get into this role. We'll tell you all a few stories, and they're all based on a certain theme, and the theme is embarrassing moments. Most of you have experienced some of these, but I think this is kind of a unique group of stories that you'll appreciate. The first one is about this couple who were in the theater, and they had been to this theater before, but at the end of the first act, husband really had to go to John very urgently. So he excused himself from his wife and went down the aisle, and he knew that the John was right next to the stage. So he went down there, but it was very dark. He went through a door, couldn't find his way, opened a couple more doors. Finally, he got to a door and he opened it up, and there was a dim light in there. And he noticed there was a sofa, there was a lamp, and in the corner was this potted palm, this huge potted palm. Well, at this point, he could no longer wait. So he decided that he was going to relieve himself of the potted palm, which he did, and then he found his way up the aisle into the seat next to his wife. And he said, "Dear, did I miss any of the second act?" She said, "You asshole. You didn't miss it. You were in it."
Okay. Trying to stop raining, but we have a different angle on the... Hi, Grayson. Hi.
Hi, Patty.
Hi.
Hi.
We're the only smart ones. We're enjoying this outdoors.
Right.
It's pretty dry out here, though.
The audience all applauds. So anyway, we have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. It's Her Majesty the Queen Mother. Everybody claps, it's so wonderful. So the stage revolves around. It says, "Your Queen Mother, it's so nice to have you here tonight." And she says, "It's so nice to be here." And so now the audience claps and applauds and says, "You understand the contest, your Queen Mother?" "Yes, I do." It says, "You have 20 questions to guess the answer. Stump the celebrity. The audience already knows the answer." "Yes." It says, "Do you ever watch Stump the Celebrity?" She says, "We watch it on the telly every week in the palace." He says, "Well, that's so nice." And he says, "All right, your first question, your Queen Mother. Are you ready?" She says, "Yes." This is the first question. It says, "Is it good to eat?" And he says, "Well, I really don't know, depending on your persuasion and, your taste in this. But for the sake of the show, let's say yes, it is good to eat. Your next question, here, Roll. Says, is it a black cock? She's pregnant. The doctor says, Miss Smith, you're pregnant. She says, oh, doctor, it's the happiest day of my life. I'm so ecstatic. So she gets dressed. And she strips him down the hallway, you know, just a smile on her face and everything. She's cloud nine. So she gets in the elevator, the door closes, there's a fellow in the elevator. Just the two of them. So he says, excuse me, madam, but I couldn't help but notice the gleam in your eye, the glow on your cheeks, the smile on your lips. You mind if I ask what the occasion? She said, not at all. Since I've been trying for 9 months to get pregnant, my doctors just told me I am, and it's the happiest day of my life. He says, well, congratulations. And he said, I can identify with that. She says, you can? How? He says, well, I'm a chicken farmer. Down south of town here, I have 100,000 hen, and up until today, each hen was laying 2 eggs per day. And starting today, they're laying 4 eggs per day. And she said, well, what's the secret? He said, well, confidentially, I changed cocks. And she said, confidentially, so did I.
I've heard of it. I like
How you get babies? Second opinion. I didn't hear the beginning of
Well, at least I can call her up.
how you get babies.
What was the patient?
How do you get babies? And she's decided, well, maybe the best way is to just basically tell it like it is. And she said, well, honey, you know, the woman has a vagina and the man has a penis, and you push the penis in the vagina, and that's how you get babies. He said, but you know, Mom, he said, the other day I was walking by the bedroom, and Daddy had his penis in her mouth. And she said, well, honey, that's how you get diamonds and furs.
Annual exam, she's with a gynecologist, and get her feet up the stirrups. So, takes her in the back exam. I'll fuck you up, Miller. Takes her in the back room for the examination and puts her up in the stirrups and everything, and the nurse is out front, so the doctor says, I'll be right back. So, comes back outside, comes up to the nurse and says, Jesus, she's got the biggest thing I've ever seen.
Biggest
lady's in here, he hadn't closed the door all the way, so the lady's in there, she heard it, she's, oh my God, she's devastated. So the exam's all finished, she goes home, and she immediately goes into the bedroom. She takes a little circular mirror off the wall, she puts it down, she pulls up her dress, pulls down her panties, she's kind of waltzing around there, kind of looking at it. Her husband walks in and says, hey honey, don't fall through that hole in the floor.
I heard that,
That is
tacky.
Well, it was like this. It was in the summertime out in Minnesota, and all in Olka, they're out. It's a nice summer evening, and on the ranch, and Ole is walking with Olka, and they come around the barn, and they got all the hay, you know, around there and scoot, and Ole says, Olga, he says, God, you know, we got a lot of hay here. Come in the barn, I'll show you this hay. He says, oh, it's so nice here. He said, maybe we ought to make love here in the hay. It's so pretty and nice. And she says, well, okay. And she gets her clothes off and she gets her legs spread. And about that time, a little mouse runs right up her leg. And oh my God. He says, what are we going to do now? Oh. Well, we got to go down to the doctor, see the doctor. They drive into town, the doctor says, yeah, now why are you here? It's about 8 o'clock at night. It's putting way past my bedtime. What you doing here? Well, we were out there in the barn, and this little mouse went right there. He says, well, I'll tell you, the best way to do this is to go home. He says, get her on the bread, get her all spread out there, and you sit there only with a piece of cheese. When the mouse comes out, you grab the mouse. It was 1 hour went by, and 2 hours went by, and the doctor says, well, I better call him and check on him. He says, no, I think I'll go over there. He goes over there, and nope, nobody answers the door. He goes upstairs. There's the guy with the cheese, and he tells the guy,
He's got a little piece of fish.
And a little piece of fish.
Yeah, he's got the fish. Oh, Lee, what are you doing there with the piece of cheese and the fish? He says, well, he says, by God, I was doing fine till the mouse came out to get the cheese and the cat jumped up on the bed. Now,
To a bar with a duck under her arm, sits down at the bar.
No, I gotta get it right though.
There's a guy down at the other end of the bar, nobody else in there. He looks down and he yells, hey, where'd you get that pig? And the woman looks down and says, this is not a pig, this is a duck. And the guy looks at her and he says, I was speaking to the duck.
let's see, how's it start? The guy goes to the south or the lady goes?
No, it starts out where the guy, they're wrapping up the first annual black conference.
Well, this guy goes to the medical convention in Georgia. It happens to be the first annual black medical convention ever held. And at the final dinner, the chairman stands there and he says, Yowza, yowza, now ladies and gentlemen, we done concluded all the official business here at the first annual black convention. We gotta throw it open for questions from the floor. Do we have a question from the floor? This little guy way in the back, he raised his hand. Yes, I does have a question. My question is, how do...
Not too loud, darling.
We're still...
How do the penis get hard when it ain't got no bone? Jesus, laughter all through the room. Yeah, let's see here. Let me talk here with a head table. Would you restate your question? My question is, how do the penis get hard when it ain't got no bone? Yeah, I thought that was the question. We're gonna... Us here at the head table, we done think that tomorrow morning at the final breakfast, we're going to caucus. We're going to caucus for 3 hours tonight. We're going to answer the question tomorrow. So breakfast the next day, and chairman said, yes, sir, now, ladies and gentlemen, we done conclude all the official business here, the first annual black medical convention of the sickle cell anemia and all that. We have a question before the floor, which is, how does the penis get hard when it ain't got no bone? Well, the medical convention met last night, and we done concluded that the penis gets hard the same way the asshole bites off the turd when it ain't got no teeth.
There's no way God didn't give women brains. She didn't have a penis to put them in.
See?
Very good.
Tell it, Wayne.
Well, you all know what those sensitive things are at the end of a woman's breast. Those are called nipples. You know what the insensitive things at the base of the woman's breast is called? It's a woman.
About Will Bennett and Kent Runswick retiring to Rossmore. Remember that? Well, Will Bennett and Kent Runswick had retired to Rossmore. You know, they're out every day playing shuffleboard. Every day, every morning, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. One morning, Will says, God, I'm so sick and tired of this goddamn shuffleboard, I could puke. He said, I'm going to go get myself a woman tonight. And Kent said, a what? He said, I'm going to go get a woman tonight, a floozy. And he says, well, tell me about it tomorrow. Tell me about it tomorrow. So tomorrow comes along, and Kent says, well, Will, in the shuffleboard court, how was it? He said, well, I went over the rusty scupper in Walnut Creek. He said, what happened? What happened? He said, I went to the bar. He said, what happened? He said, I met this little hussy, little lady, little blonde thing. And he said, what happened? He said, well, we hit a little cocktail, and we danced, and we smooched, and we danced, and we smooched. He said, what happened then? He said, well, one thing led to the other, and one thing led to the other, and we went to this motel. He said, what'd you do then? He said, well, she took off my clothes, and I took off her clothes, and we got in bed and said, what happened then? He said, well, we sang the Blue Danube. And Ken said, oh, God almighty, tomorrow I gotta go get a woman. Gotta go get a woman. So Will says, well, you tell me what it was all about. So the next morning, Kent comes back, and Will says, "How was it?" He says, "Well, I went that same bar you went to the rest of your scupper." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I met little Floozy at the bar, little Floozy, little blonde." That's what happened. So we kissed, and we drank, we kissed, we had dinner, we danced, and everything. He said, "One thing led the other." He said, "Went that same motel you went to." He said, "What happened?" He said, "Well, she took off my clothes, and I took off her clothes, and we got in bed." He said, "What happened then?" He said, "Well, we forgot the song you sang, so we fucked."
Biological exam, and the doctor says, "Wow, everything looks great, just beautiful, just perfect, just great, great, great." She goes home, and her husband says, "Well, how was the exam?" And she's just all aglow. She's like, "Everything looks great, everything's perfect." Da, da, da. And her husband goes, "Well, what, did he mention anything about your fat ass?" And she goes, "No, honey, he didn't mention you at all." Mention anything about your what?
Yeah, that's it.
I gotta look around the room for a second.
You're on camera. Just go ahead and do it.
You know why Orioles have slant eyes and buck teeth?
All right, one more time for the camera. Good morning, Hannah. I was up at 3 o'clock reading for about an hour. Yeah, I mean, you gotta wait.
Red light.
Wait for the red light.
Has that got the 8 millimeter? Yeah. And then you just plug that into your VCR or your TV? Into the TV. Anything that has.
So Ed, how come you're doing this all by yourself?
I know how to do that.
Hey, don't do that.
Okay, Don's trying to put the puzzle back together to get us home.
Oh, there she is again.
This is my closing shots.
Closing shots. See if you can
Time to go home.
figure the puzzle.
Squirrels are everywhere this year, but especially in the garbage. Okay, with the cart.
You'll have to see me fold the cart.
The only way we would ever get reloaded and unloaded about that dolly.
Dirty. Yeah, it gets dirty. It could fall off. Nice thing about this kind of vehicle is versus pickup is you get the security.
Yeah.
There's still more to put in there, Don.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure where.
you're not
The red light's on, so Michael's running my camera. Should you want me to walk so you can try your panning motion? Bye.
Hi, Dad. You're on camera.
Who's that?
Peter and Jane.
Oh.
Okay. Cut. Okay. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
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 Another group saying goodbye. Trying to reload the car.
Right. We started it about 5 hours ago and we're still packing. Because we had more than what we thought. We're planning on leaving tomorrow. We should be.
It's a good thing you started today to get ready to leave tomorrow. All right.
The end of Yosemite, 1992.
We're not going to let Will get the last word on Yosemite. We're going to let Yosemite get the last word on itself. As for leaving the park, some of the views. somewhere there's probably climbers up there. Just magnificent. I'm sure this camera can't even do it justice.